Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we are going to be talking about feminine rage. So welcome to the next episode of Garden Tea Talks. Please grab a glass of tea or coffee or whatever you'd like and have a seat and we'll have a conversation. Okay, so today's topic has been heavy on my mind lately because of some of the things that I've been seeing in the collective. There is a lot of talk of the rise of the divine feminine. And there's also a lot of talk about feminine rage. And I understand that completely. I've been feeling that a lot myself, bubbling up within me. And so I thought that it would be a good topic of conversation for today. And I named this one Alchemizing Feminine Rage into Power and Clarity. So part of the work that I've been doing personally is taking all the things that have been triggering me, bothering me, upsetting me, causing me to have emotional reactions, traumas that are coming to the surface. A lot of this stuff is happening during this Scorpio season, and also it's been the year of the snake, which to me also just screams, Scorpio energy, right? Transformation, shedding old skin, life, death, rebirth. So sorry I'm moving around so much, guys. But this topic is just like bubbling up this energy inside of me as I'm speaking on it. So it's definitely been coming out in the collective and coming up in me. And I have been using all of these things as tools to alchemize this into something useful. And that's why I'm making so many videos and trying to work through this stuff. And as I'm working through it in real time, I'm offering the information that I'm learning to other people within the collective so that they can use it too if it resonates with you guys, okay? So if these things resonate with you, please feel free to let me know. If there's any topics that you want me to talk about, please feel free to let me know, and we can try to work through some of this stuff together, or I can come up with different video ideas and concepts to talk about related to these topics, okay? So anyway, let's get back into it. Have you ever felt a surge of anger, of raw, deep, undeniable anger that you didn't know how to deal with or what to do with? Maybe it comes from feeling unheard, from feeling unseen, disrespected, or dismissed. Maybe it's anger that's been simmering for years and suddenly it just rises up. And in this case, when it comes to feminine rage, it could also be ancestral anger, right? So today I wanted to talk about this feminine rage, why it is natural, why it's powerful, and how we can alchemize it into clarity and action rather than suppression or chaos. And I am using notes here because I didn't want to miss any important topics or any important points on this topic. All right, so feminine rage is not something to be ashamed of. It's a sacred signal, a compass pointing to where our boundaries are being crossed. And I know I feel this way more than I'd like to. It shows us where injustices exist or where our needs are being ignored or dismissed. It's often misunderstood in our culture where we're told, don't be angry, be nice, be sweet, be quiet. Better to be seen than heard, right? To be seen and not heard. Or told that we're too much or that we're not enough. But rage is simply energy that wants to be seen, felt, and transformed. Think of it like this. Fire burns, but it also purifies. That same energy that feels destructive can also illuminate what needs to change. And this, to me, just screams things in our society that really need to be transformed, alchemized, transmuted, and changed, right? To create a better world for everybody. All right, so maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but let's get back into it. The first step in working with rage is to name it. Notice it in your body. Where do you feel it? Is it tightness in your chest? And this, to me, is where I feel it often, but also in my solar plexus and in my sacral, right? So is it a heat in your belly or a tension in your jaw? I know for me, I tend to clench my jaw a lot when my nervous system is being pushed up against, right? When there's boundaries that are being crossed and I feel unsafe, and my nervous system is just completely unregulated, right? I clench my jaw really tight. I breathe very short breaths instead of taking long, deep breaths. And I have to remind myself to ground myself. And that is the one that really gets me a lot, is my jaw. And I end up having a lot of pain and tension here because of that. So if that is relatable, let me know. Maybe I'm not the only one that really holds a lot of tension there. All right, so what triggered it? Was it someone's words, their actions, or perhaps an internal expectation that you've carried? Naming the rage gives it space to move through you instead of getting stuck or erupting unconsciously. So a simple exercise you can use is to take a deep breath, place a hand on your chest and a hand on your belly, and whisper or say out loud, I see you, I feel you, I honor you. Okay. And as you guys know, I also do affirmations. And I've made a few affirmation videos. One of my favorite ones to use in a situation like this where I'm feeling unsafe, like my boundaries have been crossed, or I'm just having anxiety, is I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I am safe, I am protected, I am loved, I'm at peace, right? So you can use that or any other affirmations that really help you settle back down. And I like to do this while I'm doing grounding work. So feet on the ground, feet in the grass, right? Or doing box breathing, anything like that can be really helpful. All right, so section 3, alchemy, transforming rage into clarity. Once we acknowledge our anger, the next step is alchemy. So transforming energy into clarity and purpose. So I have a few suggestions or examples for this. So we have journal your rage. Write freely without censoring yourself. Let the words flow. Often you'll discover truths that you don't realize were underneath the anger. And so you can do this as like a video journal as well if you want to. Or you can write, oh my goodness, I can't remember who suggested these, but FU letters, right? You can burn them. You can write a letter to the person that has triggered your anger or crossed a boundary with you or brought out this feminine rage, and either just write it and never send it or burn it, right? Just let it go. Okay, so number 2 is move your body. Dance, run, punch a pillow, do breath work. Rage is energy and it wants to move through you. Physical expression clears emotional stagnation. So another thing is like somatic exercises or shaking, right? Like, so you think of it like an animal that just got wet and just shakes it all off, right? Like that. That probably looks silly, sorry. But yeah, you can do yoga, you can do Pilates, you can do dancing, you can do anything that helps you move this through you. So walking, running, jogging, working out, screaming into a pillow, anything that helps to keep this from getting stuck and stagnant in your body. And a lot of times I've noticed that it will happen here a lot, and it'll get caught like right here and have that like tightness in your chest, but also sometimes it can really get stuck in your gut. A lot of times I've noticed that rage, unexpressed rage and emotion can really get coiled up and stuck like a hard rock in your gut, and it can make it really hard for things to pass through. It can make it's really hard to digest these emotions, okay, when they become stagnant. So number 3 is set boundaries. Use your rage as a signal where you need to protect yourself. For where you need to protect yourself. Calm, firm statements like, I will not tolerate disrespect. I need space to process this before we can have this conversation. And then 4 is channel your creativity. So rage can fuel creation, art, writing, painting, rituals, music. Instead of suppression, it becomes a generative force. So anything that you're really passionate about. I especially like painting, like or doodling, right? Like it doesn't have to be something beautiful. It can just be getting the emotions out and put onto paper. Journaling is a big one for me as well. Again, ritual. So you could do the FU letter, you could burn it, you could craft some sort of ritual or spell if you're into that sort of thing. Anything that feels creative and it feels like you're actually putting it out of your body, right? So the key is to just not let it be shoved down, not let it to be repressed, sorry. Let it guide you, not control you. And then we have reclaiming your feminine power. Feminine rage is a teacher and a protector. It teaches us where we have been ignored, where our power has been minimized, and where it's time to stand firm. When we embrace it consciously, we reclaim our voice, we honor our boundaries, and we step fully into our power. And for me, that's a big one. I have a lot of throat chakra issues, a lot of issues with getting my voice out there. And this wasn't always an issue for me. As a child, if I was upset, everyone would know. I would have a temper tantrum, right? Which of course is not necessarily a healthy way of getting it out, but I never felt that I wasn't allowed to scream it out or punch my pillow, you know what I mean? Like I was able to do those things to get these emotions out, these big emotions, these heavy emotions. And somewhere in my teenage years and in my adult years, I had learned to suppress because of having my feelings diminished, feeling like my voice was being silenced, having my ideas rejected, being belittled, talked down to, made to feel less than, right? Like there's so many different examples I could use of this, but rage doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to destroy. It can be the fuel for your transformation, for speaking your truth, and for showing up fully in the world. Okay. Oh, I went too far. Sorry. Hold on one second. All right. Reflection and practice. So if this resonates, take a few minutes to reflect. Where in your life is your rage asking to be heard? Where in your life is your rage asking to be heard? What boundaries need reinforcing? So where can you reinforce boundaries, things that are really important to you, but you don't always hold that line, right? How can you move this energy safely and constructively today? So how can you let this energy come out and be moved in a safe and constructive way? How can you alchemize it and turn it into something useful for you and possibly for other people if that's part of your path, right? If it's not, then just for you is fine. There's nothing wrong with self-care. There's nothing wrong with having self-respect, having boundaries, right? It just makes you more available for others when you can be there for yourself in this way. So even a short journaling session, grounding breath, or walk in nature can help turn these intense emotions into wisdom and power. All right, feminine rage is sacred. It's a compass pointing to where we need to honor ourselves and our needs. When we recognize it, name it, and alchemize it, we step into a deeper, more empowered version of ourselves. You are allowed to feel deeply. You are allowed to protect yourself and to transform your energy into clarity and action. That is the power of feminine rage. So thank you for sharing your tea or coffee or whatnot in this space with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation. Please feel free to comment on the video and let me know what you think. Remember to honor your emotions, protect your energy, and step boldly into your power. This is Sacred Alchemy, and together we can change things and make this place better for everyone. So until next time.